Okay, so today we're going to do some transmission cooler line repair. We're working on a Honda Pilot, and the little fitting that screws into the radiator broke, a little aluminum fitting. So we're going to make a new one out of a piece of copper tubing, 3/8. So the first thing we want to do is we want to bend it into shape, which we've already done. And you just use this tool right here, which bends copper line 3/8 and 5/16. And you got to go really slow when you bend it. Usually when I bend these things, I go in a couple different spots. I move it around right here, and I go very slow, or else you'll kink the line. You don't want to do that. And what you're trying to achieve when you get this thing bent is you want to make sure that it's not collapsed anywhere. This one's a little bit, disoriented, but it'll work. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to flare the cooler line or flare the tubing to adapt to the radiator. And you'll need a flaring tool, which consists of these two pieces right here. Now there's two types of flares that you do. You either do a single flare, which is where you crimp the line so you can slide a piece of hose over and clamp it down, or you do a double flare, which is where you are able to put a fitting on it and screw it into a transmission fitting or radiator fitting and get it to seal. So I'm going to show you both of those right now. Now when you clamp your line into your flaring tool, you want to have about this much of it sticking out. Now, this is a little collar that goes down in there. When you get your flaring tool kit, it'll have these different collars, and this you want to use the right size. This is a 3/8 one right here. So we're using 3/8 line, so you use a 3/8 collar to go in there to flare it. And you want to, that's what I use to measure it. I stick about that much line out of it. And then I stick my collar inside of here. And then I crimp it down. Okay, so then we've got our line sticking out, we've got our collar in there, and we've got our crimping tool ready to go. Just crimp it on down there. And you just do it till the collar bottoms out against the tool. Loosen it back up and take it off. Okay, pull the tool out. Now what we have right here is we have a single flare. Now that's used kind of like this end right here. If you want to just stick a piece of cooler line hose over it and then clamp it down, it keeps the line from sliding off. That's a single flare. That is not a sealing flare right there. That's just a holding flare, I would call it, for a hose clamp line. Now to double flare, to get it to seal, all you have to do is put your tool back on there, and you just run this thing down in there now without the collar. And what that does is it actually gives you a sealing surface. Okay, now that we ran this tool down in there, now we have a double flare. And at this point, you can attach it to a fitting, a transmission fitting, a radiator fitting, and get it to seal. Okay, now we've got our line complete. I made this video just basically to show the difference between single and double flares. That's a single flare to seal cooler line hose. This is a double flare right here to attach to a fitting. See the difference. And all I did was I went down with the tool, but on a single flare, you use this tool. You start off with a single flare using this, and then you run this back down again for the double flare. Now, one thing you have to remember, which we forget all the time, is before you do your flaring at all, if you're using it to a double flare to screw a fitting into your radiator, make sure you put your fitting on before you flare your line. For example, like this right here. Make sure this fitting is on before these lines get flared, or else you'll have to recut it and reflare it. I didn't do it on this one because I've already made the line to fix the car. I was just doing a demonstration video to show how you flare lines. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Have a great day.